Hello, everybody. This is Omika Price coming to you all with another discussion in regards to the keys that's in this book. There is a three-component program that is formed off of this book here, and we have more discussions on YouTube. You can go and look it up under Divine Care, and I'm going to jump right into this discussion here, which is going value. Okay. And when we're talking about these discussions, we're talking about ourselves and we're looking to work on ourselves to be better individuals, to be able to connect with the right things and to use muscle memories to even work within ourselves when we're moving within the world, okay? Knowing what we're supposed to do and what we're on and what we're about, okay, and who we are. Jumping right into the discussion. And we're going to be talking about value. Now, value actually have about 8 different meanings. And when you say value, you can also talk about things that's valuable. And that has 2 different meanings, okay? I'm going to go into the meanings and we're going to know where we are in life and how we're going to receive information and adopt those things. We're not doing any copying, but we're actually receiving and adopting things that make us better. Looking to be in a reforming and a renewing mind, okay? And at this time, actually, it's live. It is in August. August is just like an exclamation month for me. It's the month of my birthday. I get so excited. I want to share so much love. And I often remind myself of who I am, how valuable I am. Um, and I go through those different things to bring out, the best in others that I tend to want to see that will reflect the love that I have shown to them. And so, sometimes you just want to be thought about on your birthday or to show love, And my idea has always been showing love. Love does come in a natural way, but I have always loved to prepare a table. So also, when you're trying to prepare things, there is a limit, a value, all those different things that we're going to touch into. So I'm getting right into the meaning. Now we said value. Value has about 8 meanings, to be held, to desire, and, deserve, reserve, by calling some type of limit. Like we can talk about great things of certain limits. And if you kind of rocking those limits, just tend to be a greater value. Um, Knowing your worth, determine how much cash or payment, worth. Holding something in high regards, how you are determined, worth or meaningless. Okay. Now I'm throwing all these different words in there because you know value. You understand value. These are just the areas that I'm going to be touching into. Also, being valuable, the 2 meanings of that. A thing of great worth, worth a great deal. All right. So, worth, numbers, all that stuff. Women are of great value. This has nothing to do with money. We operate in great resources of giving birth in the soul, spirit, and in the flesh. In any living life and way you want to live, you do want to stay in that level of being valuable on earth. I have been in a position where I was not able to produce when I thought I could produce. And I just felt I wasn't I had limited value once it came to that place, but I want to touch into that. I just went right back to who I was connected from because it was a greater price that was paid for me. So it's just all about a divine connection and thinking and all that good stuff that will even get you lined up to all the things that you are to be a part of, which is going to determine your value, which is really priceless, okay? But I was on the women. Women have to understand it comes from within. There is a process and a nurturing and a deposit and all those different things of the beauty that we give on earth and to our men. So we have to understand our value, our role, our wholehearted cost of living and walk in it. Some women have limits that they wear more value outside of themselves and they value the things that's inside, which grows. What you put in come out. It was a gentleman, a good friend of mine, was like, Kamika, you look like you eat a lot of chicken. And I was like, why you say that? I might carry fat in certain areas because of chicken. And that was just going into what you put in, you tend to get out, so you can put on all you want, but you also want to work in because we always birth in beauty. We always look at the reaction of things when you do things that it gives a great reflection on the little ones. When I say the little ones, I see young women not even hitting the age of maturity, not even obtaining the things that mature women obtain, and they looking like mature women, ready to juice it up. That value done already been depreciated. That is not an area of success. That is not an area of living within your means. That is not an area of value. All right. And when I say this to the women, because we are the seed sowers, the mother of earth, we have to understand, regardless of what we have done, we have to gain that rooted value within ourselves by not forgetting who you are and where you come from. If you were even birthed into great understanding, you never lose that. All right. So in it, there is a seed that can be sown. Okay, let's talk about the seed sowers. Men. Men are of great value, great, you know, unity, cover, protection, king, head. That value is so valuable. It has been attacked over the years and generations. We can go into that, talk about it, you can look to the left and right and just see. Okay. But we want to work on ourselves so that we can be of value to others. Okay. Don't mind the left and right because that's going to tear you down. Now, the left and right either is going to bring value to you or it's going to tear you down. And when I say the left and right, others thinking, others examples, other values out there that's making you feel like your value is depreciated or your value is not of value or you are of value. You know, it just really don't start there. So that's why we want to know our worth within ourselves, and we're going to know our worth within ourselves. We're connected, really grounded and built on a great foundation within ourselves. And then we're going to actually obtain value. All right? Value in the home, value in a relationship, value in living, value in life, value in our children. And disadvantaged thinking, you know, is when we want to know our value and how we want to value our dollar and living within our means. It is not about getting rich and dying and seeing so many people get some money and then the next day they ain't got no money. Or they can have a lot of money and if they could have spent it fast it was because they had a lot of money. So I just already know it's not about the dollar, the cash. That no, You have to know your value. You have to know how to deposit. You have to know how to withdraw. And you have to know what you can stand also. So that you just don't keep tipping yourself. We come to a great knowledge at a certain understanding. I'm talking about we got individuals jumping right into grownhood. Sexual activities, sexual looks, sexual ways, all that. And then they have a value. Okay, that value has to match up with funds. Yes, it has to match up with funds. All right. You want to also have a great ROI, and that's a whole program by itself, profit. Okay, you are not investing to always profit, but you always want to invest to reap because you always want to know whatever you put in, you're sowing, or you know that it's going to grow, or you want it to grow. It's going to be of great nature. Okay. Now, let me stay focused. All right, life in itself is a true play of value driven by different valuable values. Life in itself, we get out, we go outside, we see different things. It's going to even persuade us to do certain things. We're human. We're human. We're going to do things as um, we feel that's getting attention. I was very, I love jewelry. When I was young, I always and I just liked it because I felt it was a value. I wasn't into like buying and selling and all that different stuff because I feel value is what you hold. Value is what you keep to be built. Never put myself in a position to cash out, because I'm building for a purpose, a legacy, a generation. Now I got children. So now I already know over here, over there, uh, and it's not a number. It's just a value. It's of standards. It's things you ain't got to worry about. It's areas you don't even have to go in. When you obtain certain things, you no longer have to spend such great funds in it. Just that time will hold its value. Okay, and probably am. And when I talk about this area, I talk about numbers. I talk about I think something that's going on. I talk about numbers. And when you're putting yourself in a position to um, work for someone or put yourself in a position to do something great, you want to know your value. You want to know what you can bring, and you want to know it is going to be funding to match what you're trying to produce. Okay. So, what we want to realize is those numbers. And that's really what disadvantaged thinking to a prosperous thinker really kind of puts you in a mindset of where you are, where you at, what's your value when you're setting yourself out there to be a part of something. Okay. You do not want to set yourself aside in the area where you're already whole and then you set yourself in a position where you're not going to keep the value that you even be self-efficient. Okay. You do not want to put yourself in a situation where you're depreciating your value. Okay. So I want to use this for a second. I can't really see my I don't know what's going on with my filming, but it do look like it's still going. All right. So I'm showing this card here. And the reason why I'm showing this card is because when you go, this is a purchase, and this is something that is of value. Okay. And when you go and purchase a vehicle, I have learned that as soon as you walk up off, drive it off of the lot, the value depreciates. Okay. So I knew at that time I did not really want to purchase a vehicle brand new. It'll be at its best value when it's sitting on a lot, not touched. Now you can work a deal and you can work great things. Let me see. Now you can work a great deal. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, I'm having computer trouble, but this is the best time. This is the best time because my little ones are asleep, and I am able to put in this great nature into the atmosphere, and this has been helping me so greatly in my life personally. And I am excited about what God has been doing in my life, and I have touched others, and that is enough said. Um, but I want to get right back into what we were just talking about. Okay, vehicle. Okay, so when you when I was thinking, hey, if I get a vehicle, I'm not going to buy it brand new because know, it's going to depreciate anyway. I'm going to have to put in to keep its value, and I'm going to have to do so much when it by itself. When I drive off of there, I'm not going to cash out for it. I'm talking about something that's of value. So I looked into things, didn't come from a rich family. My family is blessed, but just looked into things to where if it was a one owner, how much of a discount is, in there. So once you get one owner, you can actually get you a vehicle with some value in it and drive it and still have value. Okay. And then when you're walking into a situation like that, I always thought, don't try to purchase something so beautiful and nice like that unless you can buy it three times. You want to be able to know that this value is going to depreciate much faster than got no house, or real estate, we're understanding value and what's valuable and how we are to sow. These things help us to be efficient, quick and faster, um, for ones that's able to do so. This is something that we truly need. This is what disadvantage thinking just foundationally just gets right into you being who you are and knowing what you need for you and to do the things you need to do for you. Even when you're collaborating in a relationship or with anybody, you still want to hold who you are and hold your value and stand in the position that you're supposed to stay in. Do not misperceive that to be different, the conversation or being comfortable or unloving on you. So because you have to still stay in mind of what needs to be done. Now, don't get stressed out of life and life situations, but we talking about when you have opportunities and when you take what you have and you operate in a disadvantaged thinking, especially when you already applied and courage is giving you the knowledge to write things down and make it plain. They Bob, you already living, breathing, okay? You have value in life because you're able. Nothing can not beat the kindness of being inviting and willing to do what you need to do to make it. But I have to stay straightforward with everyone that you have to operate in great value. You have to sow to reap. You have to not keep investing in areas that's not bringing you the value that you are seeking or this value that is demanded of you. Who are you? Okay, value who you have in your life because money has to be made anyways. Now that's what I was just talking about. That has to be made anyways for if you have to make it or you have to line up for your income. Okay, you have to put yourself in a position because you need to eat. Need to eat. All right. So We have to understand that, okay? But value who you have in your life because money has to be made. You have to give back to know what it takes for you, and you just have to, come out of the liability states if you are in that area, yet be an asset to others by doing what is needed for you. And also being a part of the blessing and the great cause and the need that is in the world. You know, there is nonstop to what we need to do in life. It's always something that we can do. And one initial thing that I have always been strong in is seeing great victory in is praying. I know I was up and I experienced some things in my life and I just wasn't destroyed or I wasn't broken down. I just seen a lot of things in my life that missed me, It was a lot of things in my life that just killed me, destroyed me, you know, experiencing certain things. But I realized in me, you know, um, I'm just not gonna die, just like I'm gonna kill myself. So I'm gonna have to do something, everything that come to me. I'm not just gonna let it happen, you know. So, you know, not paying your bills. I'm going here to no other state of mind or anything else because if you can't do anything, what makes you real whole is being able to take care of you. Write down your skills. Write down um, the things that you offer. So often I run into individuals that and they don't even know how much to charge you. Then the hustle game go on with how much you got and what they can get out of you. Then there is an area of conflict because that ain't how it's supposed to be done. Man and woman of value, you write it down and make it plain. And so when you step out there, you let an individual know. When I'm doing something, I'm gonna let you know, hey, I'm just doing this. So look, that don't mean you just keep on thinking I'm not of value because I'm gonna let you know what I'm gonna do and what I'm not gonna do. What I don't try to do is hustle my friends or hustle anybody around me or anything like that because I am of value and I offer services. And I don't try to go no further than that because I already understand the 3% living rule. Okay, so the 30% living rule. Okay, so I'm not gonna put you in a position where you're gonna need me and I'm going to be putting a pressure of money on you. It's just really, I am of service because I am a person of great heart, getting with individuals and sharing information that's valuable. Oh, sharing information that is valuable. So, but that is not all what I'm about. That is not all what I do. So when I kind of shut down and get into that area of there is no time or anything, it's because there's so many areas of my life that I understand that I operate fully in. That is nothing that's paying me. Anything that you come to anybody about something and you are not um offering an incentive for their time because it's valuable when you want it. And then that's under negotiation if it's an option. That's because there's a demand that you have and you know where to come with it. So, and it goes back to even, I want to just talk about contractors, have a great standard hourly rate, of how many hours it will take you to do a job. That's a great way to calculate up numbers to know your value. What are you worth hourly? How much work can you put in hourly? that will bring that of great value. I always look at things on an hourly basis when I'm adding things up to all great numbers because your time is valuable. That's where it starts. And, your company, just your time and your mind and where you are, it helps. It helps. It helps with your value. Not thinking depreciate your value. Okay. Anytime you're getting something done, you ought to have your thinking light on to learn what is getting done because you might have to do that yourself. And that brings value. That's when you learn something. That's when you receive. There is not a service of free game. There is not a service of free game, but when you come up on free game, you better write it down and make it plain. And guess what? It's not a service of free game, and here it is. You may be of value. All right. I don't want to get too much. Let's keep on. If I want to be profitable or perform in my worth value, I have to be willing to change. I gotta change because if I know I want more and I ain't getting it where I'm at right now, I know I have to change. I have to change. I have to change something. Every day we changing. We changing. My skin change. My hairstyle change, how my body receive water, it changes, all those things are in action. So you're going to have to renew and have an understanding of your value, and be willing to cause and make actions to um change. Yeah, you have to have courage to perform and operate, which is being in action to activate the need of you. How are you going to say I'm worth something and you can't bring it? The worst thing I can see is for a person to start something and they can't finish it. I cannot sit at the table with a complainer and you don't have no solution, no value in that. It's a blessing to be needed when you are experienced, but if you don't have no experience, get out and start writing things down. Life offer great teaching. If you don't, you're gonna have some things happen to you, and you have to learn from that. Nobody can talk to any area of people unless they have truly experienced that because they can't touch into the key words or even the nature to bring them to the next level. I don't know everything. I just know how to think because I bump my head a lot. I truly bump my head a lot, and in bumping my head, I wake up. I'm the oldest. I have to go out and do things first. It ain't no sit back and wait on it. Even when I'm going head up with something, I ain't waiting for it to come to me. I'm finna bring it. You know, who are you? Who are you? Do you perform or produce value? You know, um, nothing about you should be unexplainable. You know, it has to have value. It has to have reason. It is a beginning. It is a process in how you have become, you know. And so, what is your network? What is your network? Your network is what do you own? What can you bring? And what is that? What is the need of that? You can, I there's a market things that individuals are buying, and they're buying it to keep and collect. All right. But when you're buying it to keep and collect, that is an area where you can market and profit also, or are you just the holder? And then that's value. That's value. Network. What do you own? Not all this that you got and you looking like you got. A lot of people be looking like they got a lot, and there's nothing wrong with having nice things. There is a beautiful way of living, and I'm gonna tell you there's value in the work that individuals put in themselves to make themselves comfortable and happy. Yes, it is. And that is a great need in one's life. And but you don't want to ever do things in a way where it's shallow, where there is no root in it. There is, for example, um, for my birthday, I just had to make it known I did not want no bag. No, I don't want no bag because, you know, I don't want no bag. I would just would prefer the money or the time or something of value. For one, I'm not in the market of selling bags. And that would be the only reason why I will probably invest in a bag. And when I say bag or purse or, anything, I'm not going to pay a lot of money for something that I have a lot of. And, I tear up purses easily. So it has to be truly of value. It has to be of great quality. Pay for it. That area right there, um, I don't want. So when I say that, that is not of value to me, and it's nothing that I'm going to have that others may feel that's of value. Okay, so everybody have their own um, way of seeing things and doing things that's valuable and that's of value. And we want to know your value when you apply it too. When you apply things and when you want to see where is that or you're performing of standards to get your work. Um, I just talk about this valuable because you will always be in a position to just sit up and talk about things, but it is so hard to be about these things and put yourself in a position that you don't apply yourself. Then you question your own value. Um, so many of us will prepare for something and we won't even receive it. I've seen so many people put great value in things that, depreciate. And I mean, great funds in things that depreciate. And when I say that, let's go back to the cars, right? Now, we had this, we done bought it one owner, so we got some value in it, and maybe a we'll just say it's a $10,000 loan on this, and this is about a $25,000 to $40,000 vehicle. And after the $10,000 loan is after you put your deposit down, hopefully 8 to 5 or 10, under 10,000 deposit down on something that you don't want to be paying for a long time because the interest on that just would, you know, appreciate the value is by itself. Okay. Now you go and you get this thing before it's paid off and you put things on it that's gonna mess it up because it's all, of value because of how it's already put together. If it's not things that's gonna be compatible to it, it's gonna depreciate the value. Okay. So you already got 10,000 on here. Then you're gonna put more money in there that's just gonna bring it down. So your 10,000 went up over 10,000 that you owe on this because you. All right. This only way this gonna be of value if it's paid for. Work on that. Keeping it functionable, keeping its value, keeping it the same, keeping it value. You know, beautiful example to talk about of things that can depreciate and you're working on keeping that value. Things that when you ride and do too much to it and you gotta put work into it, and you have to kind of keep that value there, keeping this thing running and operating how it needs to operate with you, yet as you utilizing it is going is value is being questioned, you know. Value one's time. Value one's time. Respect one's time. You never know where individuals' mindset is and what it takes nowadays for individuals to even think and be in relationship with one another. So many people are passing and well, I'm talking about these days have not stopped. So I'm saying it's just a different life going on now. So we want to value one's time. We do not want to speak ignorance. We do not. And if you are speaking, if you're speaking that way, and if you're around someone speaking that way, that depreciates your value. All right. So what you want to do is work with that in love and kindness and speak life into that matter. Speak life into the matter. I have to speak life in myself. There's the speak life within yourself, speak life within people around you, speak life and, to breathe and want to live. You want to be in a position, you know, in a mindset that you want to live. You got to value your life. You got to value experience. You have to value your work. You have to value your relationship. You have to value that dollar that you get. And after that, you have to operate so and, be in great nature. Be in great nature. You do not want to be um, amongst things that's going to depreciate your value and don't be in judgment. Do not blame others for your actions. Do not adopt pettiness. Misery loves company. There is not a time where a person can come to me and talk to me about, they can talk to me about anything. I already know how I'm going to receive things because I have this nice muscle memory in me, right? And it's not against nobody else. It's just about my thinking, how I check myself, how I receive information, what I take into me, what come up out of me. I don't let others alter my thinking about others. It's always open game for an individual to have a discussion. But it's not to alter what is real and what is true. When you have value within yourself, you're not persuade or even move on things that's not of value. Okay. And okay, when you say talk is cheap, cheap means you ain't got no talk is cheap, you know. Talk is cheap. I promise that's all I see is the actions. You have so many after the conversation and be like, they felt good about what they were saying. And, oh, you know, I make too many moves to even stuck on a conversation. Know the value in a conversation. Okay. And the true value is in operation, living life, breathing, loving one another, preparing the table of a safe unity, working together to bring greater value. Okay. Even, if you're in a position where you're like, hey, I'm smart because I don't be messing with them. I'm smart because I don't be. that is not a valuable thing. You don't have to bring a lot of people in your circle, mind, and your way of living and decisions and things, but you want to be active, some way. Because that's where the value come, that's where the exchange come, that's where the reflection of how you're thinking. And you don't gotta let them know what you're doing, but it's just when you want to be and you want to benefit off your value, you want to be in relationship to be able to benefit. All right, you want to be able to benefit on it. So there is no false flag. You need to be showing that you got it. All of us have a great need within ourselves, and it does not lie with cash, credit, and all of things. I was speaking with an individual, and again, they were like talking about it's not about money. No, everything is not about money. You have to have tool to operate in some areas. So if you are of value, right, and you're valuable for the purpose, you're going to be mindful of what it takes for it to happen on every level. You know, that's going to determine how valuable you are to the body. Even if you're not operating in it, you're knowledgeable of it. Just like in the household, it is of great value to practice saving your energy or not just running your water. It just brings great value in a team. You can operate and move um, greatly. You can operate and move greatly in a lot of ways when you don't have things like that pulling from you. That brings value to the body. And I just said that because that's, some things we need to do. I'm not promoting that for the electric company or the water people. And I'm just saying, because that's things that we pay for. So, and it can be used loosely. So when we understand the great need of it and how we truly need to utilize it, we tend to alter and change how we do things. So that's what we want to understand what to value. Okay, let's talk about what to value. Value in our life, valuing our true creator and understanding why we're here. That's going to even bring that rooted level of that you need. Prayer, prayer, pray. Get yourself in a position so you have a clear mind to be real with yourself, to line up with the things that's going to build you, bring you a value. Don't nobody else need to co-sign that area because you're going to tap into an area that there's a need, and that's going to bring you the level that you want. That's going to make you valuable. We're going to say there's a great need of let me say this. There's some great need of professionals. Okay, people that know how to communicate and work with others without trying to be so themselves and extra. You know, there is a great need in it. There is a great value in get employed with a company that you just bring that professionalism and you get paid for that. Okay. When you're able to do that so well and they know what they're gonna get out of you and you're gonna what they're looking for, not all that extra stuff, but they are going to get out of you what they have written down, what they asked for, and you still perform it of greatness and even more because you done tapped into an area that you done mastered it. There's great value in that. Then you controlling off of a seed sown and great foundation of knowing what was the value. Now you can kind of control your scale. your skill in things. And also, we want to just value who we are and what we do with others, because we got to say value, because you just don't want to be doing everything or anything that is not going to bring value to your life. That is not a great thing. Doing things that's not going to bring value to your life. We all are operating in areas like that. So there's work that can be done, and there is evaluation that can be performed too. All right. Now, let's just truly carry our value into our relationship, and not in mindset, or or just looking a certain way. I'm talking about performing in that value, in that position, in that position that you are to be performing in. I have a great way of being reserved, and we're going to go back into the um, definitions of value. You know, and I have a great way of knowing what my worth is, and reminding myself of those things. I have a great way of how I collect things, bills, and how I spend things, and all those things have to do with value. And so I put um, a scale together, and I put this scale together, and it's in a teaching for self. And 30% rule. And in the 30% rule, you still have 10%. And honestly, that 10% is to tie, to reap, and everything. But we're just talking about the 30% rule. You have to find value within yourself, performing an action to even operate in that. No dead weight. And teamwork brings that same percentage, you know, at the same level, but just give it the capability of doing more, with greater minds. That's why everything is not about money. It is so much more about relationship, and collaborating and being whole, not mixing, but just performing things, and knowing your value, knowing what tools are, knowing what you need to do to cause the effect that you want. So just like investing in property, that's I'm not going to talk about that now, because I'm just so passionate that I just can say so much. I'll be talking about what we be doing. But what I mean by that is that mindset of ROI, profiting in a great percentage, not just 100%. You want 200, 250%. That's going to cause greater value to you. And that type of mindset is not really like $1 million mindset or entrepreneur mindset or all of that type of mindset. Because I'm going to tell you, people that operate with that type of value, you have to really think where their mindset is in paying their bills. All right. We're tapping into legacy, tapping into opportunities when it comes down, that we know what to do that's going to cause a great effect in our life, and even leave things for our children, where we have to line up with opportunities. Okay. So in that's valuable. Knowledge is valuable. Unity in relationships too. And forgive me if I'm looking a little bit away from the camera stuff. I'm not seeing myself, but I do see that the time is still going. And so I'm just continuing flowing with this, because I'm actually at the end. Um, and I was about the meanings again of value and valuable. And how okay, and then let's talk about how to determine that is wow, that's great value. Being assertive, getting things done. You become so well in that, and then we age in things too that we always not able to perform at our work or how we know we can. There are keys. All that has to do with relationships, lining up, be an instrument, or even a written book for others to learn what you know. Let me just go there. You're so well at what you do. Start writing things down and make it plain. We gotta pass things down and these valuable tools, valuable capabilities. Now there's so much going on. You can film things to help others. That is of value. And everything is just not going to line up with money, too. You know, it can be valuable to one's life that's even priceless. So, let's say so much about these two words, and there's so much more that others can say about it. And we all just want to be able to know our worth. And don't put yourself in a position of pettiness. It's going to depreciate your value. Yes, it is. You know, you keep your value. You don't get next to things that's going to depreciate your value because you will not be of value to anything that you brought forth. And let me say that again, you do not put yourself next to anything that's not of value because you don't want to depreciate your value. You have children, you have a family, you're connected to something. You want to connect to things that's going to be of great value to your foundation. I thank you all again for listening. I have other discussions to bring forward. I had to shoot this out there because I'm needing to put these out in the atmosphere because my life is changing so rapidly, and I am appreciating the opportunity to just be so open to talk about these things and this matter here because it has developed over time and have brought great value to me and to others' life. I mean, it's just such a blessing. It's not about the numbers or money or anything. It's truly about um, God's gift. It's truly about I know what I suppose and how I ought to be operating in life. I know my value. I know who I am. And I know what I'm supposed to put up with. I know what I'm supposed to deal with. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Well, of some degree. Okay. So I'm just excited to share these great values about me and knowing how to think, and the keys, knowing how to use courage, applying that work. You know, I have zero tolerance. I know work. I have zero tolerance. And if you put in work in other areas and you not further work in this area, don't come to the table. You put in work where you put in work because that is where your work is. Do not jump the ship because you got to go across waters and you have to build. And that might not be what you want. Keep your value. Do not depreciate your value. Do not depreciate your value. Know who you are. Rethink. Have courage. Keep it real with yourself. Start within. Okay? Ain't no need for all of the cover up if it's a shallow area. You know? So know your value. Know who you are. God bless you. Stay encouraged. Keep your social distance. Everybody, please respect others when they just ask you to just keep your distance. I never seen a time where you just see people yearn to disrespect your space. It's actually law now. So know your value and speak these things out loud. I'm a little lady, so I'm gonna bark. God bless you. See you next time. If you got an hour time, just if you only got 30 minutes, start. And because I've been really mouthy an hour, I've been going like an hour each time. I don't know no other way right now. But in any case, I'm enjoying it. Loving it. Everybody else is enjoying it too. Thank you. Because to even have over 5 views is such a blessing to me because I only got to touch one life. You know, God just want me to touch and agree. That's what I need. Because I done wrote my stuff down, made it plain. Gain relationships. Recognizing the tools that I need. Finding the value in everything to line it up for the goal that I set forth, right? God bless you all. I will keep going.